Welcome back to AFTV, everyone. In about 30 minutes time, we're going to find out the 11 that goes out to face a very good Newcastle side at a very hostile St James's Park. Robbie, Cecil and plenty others are up there, but here to react to every kick of a ball and react to the starting 11 is Turkish, Luke, Talia and the Frank, of course. Round of applause! Do you know why? Because Talia's back, first time in a couple of weeks.
Yes,
welcome back.
Thank you.
And Luke back for the first time in a while. Luke, it's great to see you, mate. Welcome. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very well. Had a good summer. Yeah, enjoying the start of the season. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Let's get your take on the season so far, because sometimes in the four walls of AFTV, and obviously I talk to other people, we can maybe, I don't know, help each other's opinion. That makes sense. You kind of you hear what someone else thinks. Maybe that's key. I want to know, just from a complete outside perspective. I know you watch the channel, but how do you feel about the start of the season? Getting knocked out of the cup in midweek. Where are you, the team, right now?
Yeah, getting knocked out of the cup sucked. It hasn't, like I say, my momentum going into this game been a bit knocked by just that performance in general. But yeah, we've been churning out the results. I still think the performances haven't been amazing, but I'm always quite encouraged by getting results when we're not playing too well. Last year we played some incredible football, and sometimes we didn't get results here and there. Even when we played well, that's been something that we've done quite a lot in previous seasons. So it's quite nice to see that we can get results when we're not playing too well. Yeah, there's still a couple of performances that I want to see more from Havertz. I haven't really felt that in past seasons. There's not really been like a player that I've felt like I had to dig out, but I'm not going to dig him out. But yeah, I want to see. I want him to come good. So, but yeah, in terms of the results, obviously excellent. Yeah, a little wobble in midweek, but I'm intrigued to see what kind of lineup we go with today and what that actually means against, away at Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. And before we get everyone's takes on the 11s they want to see, we've got a clip from the predicted 11. Robbie giving the 11 he thinks is going to go out there, or at least wants to see go out there, because while it's an 11 I sort of like on paper, there are still questions and holes. Let's just hear what Robbie had to say, and then I want to hear what everyone else thinks as well.
I think this will be the team that Mikel Arteta will go with, and that is in goal David Raya, right back Ben White, the central defensive defensive partnership of William Saliba and of course Gabriel, and on the left-hand side, left back will be Tomiyasu. Moving into midfield, Jorginho, Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, and up front would be Eddie Nketiah leading the line, with on the flanks, on the left-hand side, Martinelli, and on the right-hand side, Saka. That team, if that is a team that's playing, I think is a team good enough to win this game here at St James's Park.
Okay, so it's a difficult one. I like a lot of that 11. Talia, what do you make of Jorginho? Did well in the City game. Were you here for that City game here? Oh, you were at the F1 as well, so you were here with us.
I watched on the sidelines.
So Jorginho's shown he can do it for us, but you still worry. He still feels like the one in that 11, if that's what goes out there, that maybe Newcastle might target.
I don't think I'd personally put him in my starting 11. I'd have him on as a sub. He obviously is doing a great job at the moment, but again, I just wouldn't have him as my starting 11.
Okay, who would you go with instead? Is there anyone else you want to see? Kai Havertz, Vieira? Zinchenko.
Look at Turkish's face the second you said that.
I know what she's going to say.
But the thing is,
what
am I going to say?
Because when he said Havertz, I saw it. I saw it in your eyes.
Yeah, he did. He knows. Really? But as soon as you said Havertz, I would. Yeah.
What is this like? She loves Havertz.
She's trying.
I just know that some people don't. Love's a strong word.
It is.
I put Havertz up.
Okay, fair enough, Frank.
Oh, I don't know about Kai Havertz, that's for sure. I actually completely agree with Robbie. I think the type of play that Jorginho brings to the starting 11 is completely different to something like a Kai Havertz would bring. I think the predicted lineup that Robbie went for, and I actually agree with, is the strongest lineup we have at the moment. Of course, we've been tarnished by injuries so far this season, and we're in a position where we've got two very crucial injuries, with Thomas Partey and Gabriel Jesus being out. Two massive injuries, as I say, and unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that. That's, for me, is the strongest lineup we can put out at the moment.
Yeah, got a super chat here saying, I watched too much AFTV. I literally had a dream last night. Turkish and I had a big argument over Eddie Nketiah. Wow. That's from Macron.
It's just you, man. Just you. That's quality.
People are dreaming about you.
Yeah.
Such a dreamy guy.
Yeah, dreams.
Oh, it's just a little debate over Eddie and Nketiah. Listen, some people just wish they could call in on FANZONE. We'll make your dreams a reality.
Don't call in.
I'm interested to know what went down in the debate, personally.
Yeah, same.
Tell us
Fair
more.
enough. Actually, yeah, Macron, no need for a super chat. Just go look at the comments, send us more details. I'd love to know more about this dream argument you had with Turkey. Brandon says, were Arsenal ever chasing Kudus? Because boy, the guy is balling. He's carrying West Ham currently. I'd love him at Arsenal. Brandon, this is just one of those where like every fan said, get Kudus. He's really good. He'd actually be quite good for us. But the club just went, no, we're all right. And I've seen them do that with so many players now. Where I've not been annoyed in this way for a long, long time at the club, because they got Ben White, Aaron Ramsdale, so many right, Odegaard, Maddison, 2-3 years ago, that debate. I've never, anything they've pretty much done, I've sort of gone, you know what, I trust the club. But because of the Kai Havertz and the way that's looking at the moment, Raya Rams, there's that much to it, you can only look at what Kudus is doing at West Ham, see how much we still rely on Bukayo Saka and go, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's not the only missed opportunity this season.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few players that are balling out so far this season that we could have done in particular positions. Kudus is one of them. He could have covered the right-hand side, and apparently he can cover the 8 as well, and the 10 if need be. Diaby's another one at Aston Villa. He would have been, very welcome over here.
imagine
Louise as well.
Yeah, another one. So, Szoboszlai, Maddison.
Yeah.
We can go McAllister.
Guimaraes we were looking at
Instead,
before,
we end up with no backup for Saka, and he's about to.
That's a good thing.
Tonali?
Yeah, in hindsight, I don't think the Tonali miss was such a bad idea.
Yeah.
True. They didn't know that then.
No, that's true.
So I'm going to keep using that. But yes, very true. Or maybe they did know that. Listen, good. You're spot on. We've actually got a clip on the Jorginho Havertz debate, because whatever happens in that midfield, it feels like it's going to mess around with Declan Rice's position, and that might ultimately determine what we see. Let's have a look at this clip.
Interesting now, we move into the midfield. I think we can all agree that Declan Rice is definitely going to play. Yep.
6 of the 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, but where will he play?
That is the key. That is the key for me. Like, I think that I would play, if it's me, I'd play 2 in there, and that would be like Jorginho and Declan Rice as a 2. Like when you can, Declan get forward, but keep that solid base so that the attacking guys can go forward. So that's how I would go with them 2 and Odegaard coming back in. That would be my 3.
Jorginho played last year here as well, didn't he?
Played very well,
didn't he?
He played very well. Look, listen, in an ideal world, and if everything was going right, Kai Havertz should be playing, but he's just, it just hasn't happened for him at this moment in time. £65 million player, and I don't think none of us are going to put him in our starting 11.
Would you put him in maybe for the additional physicality, just for the mere fact, good in the air, good at winning headers, that sort of stuff?
Well, look, listen, I think you've got to be just doing a little bit more than okay in these games. Look, for me, I wouldn't be against seeing 70 minutes of Jorginho and then 20 minutes of Kai Havertz, something like that. That's the way I'm going, and that's how it is for him at this moment in time. He is good. By the way, he has got to start justifying this fee at some stage now. We're into November now, and we're all still, trying and wishing that he's going to be better than what he actually is.
Well, that is a deal of a lifetime for you, Turkish. 70% Jorginho, 70 minutes Jorginho, 20 minutes Havertz.
Sounds better than both of them together. If I'm honest with you, 90 of that together, I'm not interested. But that's the best of a bad situation we're in, because again, if we look at the transfer market, I don't think we did some of the things that we could have done or we should have done. Looking now at the question marks without a Partey in there, the same question marks without a Partey last year, the year before that. So it's nothing new. But here we are debating whether Jorginho should start at 65 million Havertz. I mean, El Nene is probably as much a shout as Jorginho is, because the pool of players behind the first choice 3, Rice, Partey and Odegaard, is still poor.
Okay, what if we look at the last time we went to St James's, we won 2-0. And Arteta mainly, Jorginho kind of alluded to it, but Arteta said, look, everyone kept talking about the physicality, matching them, but if we tried to match them, we're going to lose that game. So we played them off the park. Doesn't that mean rise Fabio Vieira? Like, if that's the mindset, if that's the way they feel they're going to beat Newcastle like they did before. It's about getting on the ball and playing them off the park. I don't know, Luke, what you're thinking on that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be physical though. It's going to be a very physical game. I don't know if Vieira is quite that, but yeah, I think if we can play our game on the floor, but I don't know, I think they're going to bring it to us. I do think they're going to really bring it to us. They're going to be very. That's why. I mean, we'll talk about the lineup, but Tomiyasu would be in there over Zinchenko for that reason alone for me, because they can both play great football, but I think we're going to need that physicality.
Yeah, and how are we feeling about Fabio Vieira?
I think I agree with the situation regarding the physicality. You know, he's had a decent season so far, but you know, under the circumstances, you know, away at St James's Park, a very physical team. I think he might struggle somewhere like this. And I think that, you know what, I think that Jorginho gets a bit of a hard time from the Arsenal fans. I don't necessarily have a problem with Jorginho. I think he gets a load of stick, obviously, because of the Spurs mistake. But apart from that, I don't think he's done anything outrageous to receive a lot of criticism. So I'm quite comfortable for Jorginho to be there.
And then do you think he's done anything fantastic?
You make a good point. You do make a good point, and you know,
I would say, I would argue he played a really big part in the City win and in the Newcastle win in April. So for a short term, £12 million signing, third choice DM, he's kind of done absolutely fine. The problem is that we've seen him on a few occasions play when he doesn't have the energy around him. Declan Rice came on the North London derby, Jorginho came on, and he looked at Odegaard, Jorginho, Havertz, and he thought, it just doesn't feel right. And it didn't prove right. The second half we weren't very good. You then look at what we did in midweek against West Ham. Cool, we got away with it at Brentford, but the evidence suggests that you need Declan Rice in there. Partey's injured. It makes you even wonder whether someone like El Neni might come in, because if you are trying to match them for energy, even though he's been out for so long, maybe El Neni is the better option over Jorginho. That's what I'd go with.
I think so. I thought El Neni would have got a chance against West Ham, if I'm honest, but he didn't. I look at this game and I still think it kind of suits him, because if you have El Neni with Rice, you got legs in midfield.
Yeah, he did.
Do you not think it would be quite a risk bringing him into such a big game, given he hasn't played that many minutes so far this season?
We've won big games against big six sides with El Neni in the midfield.
I'm not necessarily talking about his ability. He's had very minimal minutes over the last year.
That's why I would have thought he would have played a bit at West Ham if he was in mind for this one.
Same.
So I assume not.
That's a really good point. The thing I like about El Neni, you make a great point. He's not played in the last year, but he's the kind of player that I think you could drop him into almost any circumstance, any match, any opposition, having played 20 games on the bounce, not played in a year, and you'll get the exact same performance. He is 6 out of 10 throughout. I remember he went to Old Trafford and put in a top performance, and then when Partey got injured in the Champions League race running, Lokonga came in for 3 games, he wasn't it. El Neni came in then, and he did really well. So we've seen El Neni get to a level that we're actually quite happy with. But then again, for your 4th choice defensive midfielder, it's like, he's probably the best 4th choice defensive midfielder in world football. I mean, how many
I don't think many clubs can say that at all yet.
Well, yeah, exactly. Put yours on the table. Who have you got? So I'd be tempted with him, but does that mean we're all agreeing Rice? I know you want Havertz, but so Rice is the box-to-box, give him the freedom of the pitch.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, definitely for me, definitely.
Well, then the other debate is up front. Who wants to tackle this first?
I mean, I don't really think there's any debate at the moment. You know, while Eddie Nketiah has been...
differ.
Well,
we did a whole show.
I know he's been a bit hot and cold this season, and obviously he didn't play fantastically in the game against West Ham, but, you know, given the hat-trick against Sheffield, I think Eddie Nketiah has earned the right for us to give him a second chance in the league. But we just need to see this consistency. One of my biggest complaints about Eddie is he's just nowhere near the level he doesn't show anywhere near the level of consistency that he should. Yes, great, he goes and scores a hat-trick, but we might not see another goal from him for 5 games or so. So if he can just eliminate that from his game, I don't think we've got a bad striker on our hands.
Talia, if you want Havertz in midfield, is it between Trossard and Eddie up top for you?
I think it's an interesting point what you were just saying. Obviously, with Eddie scoring a hat trick, and then what happening at the next game, it is wanting the consistency definitely. And obviously, we want consistent players. And putting him up front, obviously, there's people are very. He's like Marmite people. Love or hate him. Really, no, they do. People either love or they hate him.
They are quite extreme.
There's no people really like him or they really don't. And I think obviously with him being more consistent, there'd probably be a lot more people wanting him up front. And I think that's the whole thing. There's no consistency with him, unfortunately.
And that lends to a performance that you don't know what you're going to get from him. I don't know if he's going to score 2 goals today. I don't know if he's going to be completely redundant. I don't know if he's going to at least put in the work rate that allows us to go. He wasn't brilliant Tottenham away last year, but he worked really hard. He ran the channels, he held the ball up, and he ensured that we could play our football there. So you don't really know what you're going to get from Eddie, which is why I like the experienced Trossard, who... What I'd say about Trossard, not that he has great consistency, but over 3-4 years of being in the Premier League, I know what I can get from Trossard, and I still don't know what I'm going to get from Eddie, and that's why I lean toward. And also, I think Trossard is a better link man for the wide players. I don't know, where are you on it?
If I had to choose, it'd be Trossard because everything you've just said. And it's not only knowing what you get from Trossard, it's knowing the level you get that Trossard can bring. The level Trossard can bring is greater than the level Eddie can bring if they both have their day. And I think the qualities that Trossard has, it can be the factor to unlock a Newcastle, whereas the qualities Eddie has more so rely upon the other players around him, which is fine because Saka and Martinelli kind of rely upon the false 9 up top. But it depends on which one you want to go with, and Newcastle are usually defensively sound, so I'd rather have a striker in there that makes them think and pulls them away from their natural position.
He's more malleable as well. He can move to either wing. He can he can drop either side. We can mix it around a bit more than you would see. I know Eddie can come in deep, but you don't see him on the wings. But you can see Trossard in all this. I'm the same. I'm Trossard. I don't know what he has to do to start, to be honest. Sometimes.
So that's one of my biggest issues with this whole. Go with Eddie because he's more physical than Trossard. But neither of them are really that physical. Yeah. So what are we trying to bully our way through the Newcastle defence? Like, play through them, like play around them, like make them think, pull them out of position. I dare say, if you're talking about going long, beating the Newcastle press, and trying to like cause problems to that Newcastle back four, then Havertz is more the option than Eddie.
Silence.
But it's because it's. Yeah. You know when people talk about fine margins. Here, the fine margins are at the lower end of the scale we're talking. It's not fine margins between 2 great players we're talking about, it's fine margins between 2 players we're yet to see really good performances from consistently. So for me it's, but either or, it's not good enough.
I hear what you're saying.
At least Trossard brings some sort of quality. You know, Eddie does bring something sometimes, and Havertz hasn't brought anything anytime so far. So, you know.
And those chances, like the West Ham chances, I feel like Eddie had were his bread and butter. Some of them, I think, like the whole fox in the box, the way he plays, I was a bit disappointed to see. Like some he didn't even hit the target. Sure. Just, So yeah, the consistency is the issue there.
Brentford have just equalised against West Ham. And talking of strikers, as we were, Erling Haaland was subbed off at half-time for Man City, who were 3-0 up against Bournemouth. If they could just stick with 3, considering I predicted a 6 or 7-0, it'd be nice if they don't do. Oh, Haaland's injured apparently. Oh, is that what the injury? I've just been told in my ear.
That's my fantasy captain done for the season. Here we go.
Frank, what are you doing here? Get on the information station. Like, useless here. Go back.
I can't do it all.
Go back. Get us the info. Around the ground, City are 3-0 up. Brentford 2, West Ham 2. Sheffield United 0-0 with Wolves an hour gone there. Palace are 1-0 up at Burnley. Everton 1-0 up at home to Brighton. I called that one on the DR Sports. But Everton are a quietly decent side, Quietly decent. I think they've won 5 of their last 7 in all comps, which really went under the radar. I'm glad we played them at Goodison, got that win out of the way. And of course, we play Newcastle in about, 11 will be announced in 11 minutes. 11 will be announced in 11 minutes. Look at that.
See what you did there?
You like that?
Isn't that great?
Beautifully.
What a host. What a host.
Your face lit up when you said that.
The rest of us can leave, mate.
You know, it's a one-man watch. Why not? And of course, Tottenham Chelsea is on Monday night. So this is the thing. I kind of want to leave this to just before kickoff, but I'm going to plant these seeds in your minds. Like, what is a good result today? Newcastle away. We know that City are winning comfortably, always going to. I think Tottenham are going to slap up Chelsea. So it makes you think, we have to win here because we've got to keep the pace. But the reality is, this is another tough fixture to add to our opening. How many have we played now? Is this match week 11?
Match week 11, yeah.
In your first 11, to have Newcastle away, Chelsea away, City at home, Tottenham at home, United at home, Everton away, Palace away, it's quite a It's quite a run, no?
It's not been the easiest of runs, but this is what I'm saying. Arsenal over the last few year or two have just shown the level of ability that that some of us from an older generation of Arsenal fans have seen in the past. You know, the same mentality that have won leagues in the past, and we seem to be getting back to that point. I don't want to say back yet because we haven't got the trophies to back that up at the moment, but we're definitely getting there.
Fair enough. There are rumours of the 11 coming through, which I'm just going to verify before
seen you wince.
I start reading them out. Super chat from Linu says, I do think that Zinchenko should play in the midfield. I think he's perfect in that 8 position. And Price says, who will lose his job first, Eric Ten Hag or the under-18s Arsenal coach driver? Have you heard about this?
I have, yeah.
They had an away
so
trip at Brighton, the under-18s. Jack Wilshere and his under-18s. They end up in Bournemouth.
Nah.
Yeah, that's a bad game. Yeah, it didn't happen. Unbelievable.
Got 3-0 loss, forfeit.
I don't know.
I think they just called it off.
Oh.
That's quite a good way to get out of it.
Sweet.
Go to a different beach.
I mean,
I'm more concerned about how no one noticed. Is it not in complete opposite directions?
Bournemouth,
Am I wrong?
Brighton.
I can't remember.
I mean, you stood.
Nah,
you're
it's
still,
not.
It's not.
It's
Oh,
down.
I thought Bournemouth was up. That's my bad.
I
My
just
geography
know
isn't great.
there must have been at least one player or member of staff on that coach just going down the motorway and just seeing like Bournemouth, sort of like starting to Bournemouth thinking,
I'm not going to speak up.
There's Wilshere out of everyone should have been the one.
you're never going to say to me,
Literally played
And the kids are not going to be the one.
Maybe it was
That's probably why he was like, yeah, right.
you're
I
never
know
going
where
to
I
say
am.
to the coach driver, are you? Like, you know it's
No.
Brighton. Because imagine you've got that wrong. Like, you taking the piss. Yes, I know where I'm driving us.
Yeah.
But this time he didn't. Fair enough. What a story. Eduardo says, I will not take the Eddie slander. Almost like Turkish knows what he's talking about. It's between you
This
and
is
him.
another dream argument.
I'm not getting involved.
I don't understand. I don't understand. So we move.
We move.
Fair enough. Still waiting for confirmation of an 11 that I don't want to completely read out, but the rumours at the moment are that Martin Odegaard is not going to be starting today.
I'm concerned that means Kai.
It must
I
mean
think it has to mean Kai. Or Emil Smith-Rowe can't
Or
play.
Vieira, maybe. I know Emil
Actually,
Smith
I'll
Rowe's
go
out
one
with
further.
knee injury. isn't he?
Odegaard not in the squad.
Not in the squad.
Wow.
Not in the squad.
So,
It's got to be injury, surely.
let me tell you that Ollie, who writes for the AFTV website, has sent in the 11. David Raya in goal.
Shock.
Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel Tomiyasu.
Okay.
Declan Rice, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, Martinelli, Eddie, Saka.
Yeah, bench news.
Ramsdale, Hine, Kivior, Cedric, Trossard, Vieira, Nelson, El Neni, Zinchenko.
No Jesus and no...
So no Odegaard. The rumours are that he's out of the
Of course he
squad, injured. So he's gone for Kai Havertz in the Odegaard position.
The silence on the panel right now is deafening. Deafening silence.
Captain, man.
Here's what it is, man. We move, innit?
Are we thinking 4-4-2? City have scored again. Are we thinking 4-4-2?
Just throw that in there.
I don't know.
Eddie Kai up top, long ball, 4-4-2, back to the old days, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. You look at players like Kai Havertz and you wonder,
That could be
you
the
know,
new Heskey Owen.
Why not?
Havertz and Eddie.
how many more opportunities is he going to get given? I think I've said it 3 times this season. He needs to do something in this game. He needs to do something in this game. Havertz.
Yeah.
Havertz is finished before he even started. I'm telling you that now. And you'll come back to me in a couple of years, you Italia included, and say you was right on this one. I'm so confident about this because I haven't seen one iota of quality.
Yeah.
I think
Not one speck.
At most a half.
That's crazy.
When I hear praise, we're praising kind of basic stuff as if his confidence is low. But you're right. There's a lot of money.
As in absolutely nothing. You can't say anything.
No, because I don't. Like winning aerial duels for me is not the quality I expect to see from a midfielder coming in that's supposedly creative. I'll give him credit for it, his aerial winning ability, fair enough. But for me, that's not quality that I'd expect from this signing.
That's a minimum.
On the ball,
6'3",
at his
surely.
feet, I expect to have seen something. A pass that's like, oof. A shot that might be like, oh, hey. you know,
or maybe they don't come off.
shimmy where the defender goes this way. And I've seen absolutely nothing. Gervinho had a better start to his Arsenal career than this, and people ripped that guy.
Gervinho actually did make a decent start. I'll give him credit.
100%.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Eduardo says, giving Turkish credit for saying we need a better player than Eddie, says Eduardo. Okay, so maybe he's on your side.
I thought, I don't know, you know, sometimes.
Well, let me reread that first.
He said, I'm not taking the Eddie slander.
I will not take the Eddie slander, almost like to... Listen,
I think it's sarcasm.
Got it. Thank you for the super chat.
Eduardo
So, okay, look, Arsenal will confirm themselves in the next 4 minutes, but okay. So Kai Havertz is going to play on Odegaard's side, but I think he's going to go up top. I think we're going to go long a lot in this game.
Probably, because our midfield is not great, is it? Stiff. So we might as well beat their midfield over the top.
Kai Havertz in that role over Vieira.
That's what shocks me.
I know there's questions over Vieira, but at least like we've seen him do it there before. He seems a bit more natural fit. I don't really know what Kai Havertz is going to do in that role.
And that's probably going to be the sub as well later on. I think I'd rather have Havertz come on, personally, a little bit later into the game.
That is what they'll sub that. That's what it will be.
But if he's going to start and
we
Vieira comes on.
So remember earlier when we said Jorginho for 70 and Havertz for 20?
Yeah,
and I said, it's better than both for 90. Here we are.
There we go. Speaking into existence.
This is on you to strap in.
Put your seatbelts on.
What else are you going to throw up? Come on.
Nah, it's not me.
It's not me. It's the pessimism couch. Speaking.
It is. It's a pessimistic side.
Akil says, why not Trossard in the 10? 3-1 to Newcastle. He could have gone Trossard.
Would you think about that? Yeah. What do people think about that as a potential? Because I think the work rate, Odegaard does not stop running. I know he's pretty unrivaled on the ball, but he does not stop running, chasing everything down. He kind of leads that
100%.
press as well. So I'm intrigued to see if I can't see Havertz doing that.
Well, you know what is about Havertz though? In other games, like when we played Sheffield United at home, whatever, I was just, can you pass and move? Can you get into goal scoring positions? Can you show some craft? We need that, and can you win your headers off set pieces, make sure they do nothing there? Can you be physical in midfield? Can you make sure we don't get outnumbered? Can you go long and get next to Eddie Singer, bring him into play? Can you feed Saka? There is so much he has to do in this game because it's Newcastle away, St James's Park. These guys, and we're going to get Newcastle's run actually in a second, but they've had such a weird run of form this season. Like, you can't really predict what you're going to get from them. Tad, it's a big one for your guy.
I mean, I never said he was my guy. I just never said it. I didn't say that. I like to prod Turkish. I'm just saying it.
This is what happens. This is what happens when
I like to poke.
You're poking away and people are labeling you or labeling Havertz your guy.
Newcastle, they beat Villa 5-1 at the beginning of the season, then they lost at City, then they lost to 10-man Liverpool at home having been 1-0 up, then they got slapped at Brighton. So suddenly, the first four, they actually lost the first three. From their first four games, they lost three of them. They beat Brentford, they drew at Milan, they slapped at Sheffield United 8-0, they beat City in the Carabao Cup, they beat Burnley, they slapped PSG, you're thinking, wow, they're on it. Then they draw with West Ham, beat Palace, lose against Dortmund and draw at Wolves, and then roll out the third team reserves from 2 years ago and beat Man United 3-0. You don't know what you're going to get from them.
Goals.
That's true. That's true. Goals in those games.
And you're going to get effort. You know that.
Are these
home crowd as well?
Yeah, we need to be able to match the intensity today. Yeah. That's ultimately going to be what the decider is for this game, 100%.
I'm not worried about our defence, but like up against that for 90 minutes, I'm worried about where our goals are going to come from, especially now. But yeah.
What about Dortmund away Tuesday night awaits for them? Are they going to have any eye on that?
Well, they've just pretty much rested their whole side against United, so back-to-back games in 4 days should be all right for them. I don't think their next fixtures.
No, Bournemouth away, then Chelsea at home.
Yeah, so
and then PSG away. So yeah, you're right.
That Bournemouth one's the key for them.
Well, Arsenal will announce the 11 very shortly to confirm.
It must be now. 30, no?
Yeah, well, I'm
hearing my phone.
And yes,
the consistency of Ollie is pretty on point. So.
Yeah, Ollie's been spot on, by the way. Go check out the AFTV website. He's breaking the news earlier than most, and giving all sorts of updates as well. Go check out the AFTV website, aftv.co.uk, and also go check out all the amazing merch, content and all that. Line-up has been confirmed, and it is exactly what Ollie said. Raya with White, Saliba, Gabriel Tomiyasu, Rice, Jorginho, Havertz in the midfield three, all former Chelsea, may I say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. If someone said to you, Rice, Jorginho, Havertz, we're going to play together going into this season, like a year ago, you'd have been like, yeah, of course. But not for Arsenal.
Yeah.
There you go. Saka, Martinelli, Nketiah, and then the bench, as mentioned, Ramsdale, Hines, Cedric, Kivior, Zinchenko, El Neni, Vieira, Nelson, Trossard. Certainly players who can have an impact. With some super chats before we read the Newcastle 11. Samuel says, if that midfield does not control the game, Newcastle will run all over us. Chelsea says, Chelsea is his name actually. Why TF would Teta put Odegaard in knowing he was injured for no reason while we were 3-0 down and now he's out for the bigger game? What is going on? I've just heard it's a training ground injury, so let's see. Alex says, tough news on Odegaard, but we'll get it done. Big up to you guys from Los Angeles. Love LA, man. Being in the sun was unreal. Your content gets me through my 90-minute commute every day. Oh, thank you, Alex. Appreciate that a lot. I appreciate all the comments coming in. Let's have a little look at the Newcastle 11. I'm not sure it's going to be Kraft and Dummett at the back, but you never know after their performance at Old Trafford. Pope in goal, Trippier, Lascelles, Cher and Burns. Bruno Guimaraes, Longstaff, Joe Linton, Almiron, Gordon and Wilson. No great surprises there. I do think Lascelles and Cher, well, I rate Cher, I do think those are centre-backs you can get at. Like, I don't, and that's not an 11 that I think, sprinkle with world-class players. It's an 11 that can slap us 4-0. It is, because, but that's about their intensity, the way Eddie Howe's coached them, like, their style of play, like, they're very, it reminds me of like Liverpool under Klopp, I keep saying, like those early days, they had the workman midfield three, a very narrow front three that could all chip in with goals. We have been overwhelmed by that style before in the past. But I think Arsenal can get their foot on the ball and play. I just worry about...
Who's the pairing? Shaw and who?
Lascelles.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Almiron and Gordon, obviously good players. On the bench, Dubravka, Dummett, Richie, Kraft, all being rested after their unbelievable performance at Old Trafford. Hall, Livramento, Murphy, Willock and Miley as well. Willock, what a goal he scored, by the way, the other day.
Just out of interest, who's in Odegaard's absence? Who's got the captain's band for us?
That's what I was going to just about to say. Who starts?
Because you've only really got to be looking at Nketiah, isn't it?
It is Jorginho.
It's Jorginho.
Brentford a 3-2 up at West Ham. I called this one as well. Good. Sorry. West Ham have too happy being the other night. Collins
in there.
Not former West Ham.
But I know someone said in the comments, why would we bring Odegaard on the other night? But you can see as soon as he came on, you could see the difference in the squad.
Scored.
I personally think as soon as he came on, you could see. So it is a huge blow to not have him today.
Yeah,
he has got a point though. If it is because of that, the injury, then it was nonsense. But if it was a training ground thing, then fair enough. But then I'd still think, is it really?
Well, regardless, the club are going to say training ground just to cover their own track.
Yeah, of course they are.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
It did seem a bit silly.
News update from the club. Mikel Arteta stupidly played him with 3-0 down at West Ham, causing him to pull a muscle while scoring a consolation goal. He's now out for 3 weeks.
Maybe you got on the under-18s coach and he's in Bournemouth. didn't go to Newcastle.
They've put him on the wrong coach. They've got the coach going to the wrong place. It's all kind of shambles.
Yeah.
Imagine. Robert says James is very angry lately. Ooh. My angry Turkish.
You have been recently still, I can't. And I'm honest, so you know that's the truth. Referees have been the core reason why.
I'm trying to sit here and sulk them.
Just got to calm down. You've got to calm
You've
down.
been hanging around Cecil too much. You got shoes off everything now.
No,
As a host, you need to be more professional than this. You can't just.
I'll be really upfront. I might have stepped in something, but apparently that's good luck. So we're winning.
Sweet.
You know, it's a short-term pain for long-term gain.
I don't know.
People say if a pigeon shits on you,
I think
it's good luck as well.
getting crapped on.
I think that's just a good way of making of a bad situation.
Well, it's basically.
But then if you're gonna do it,
yeah, that's good luck, mate. You smashed it.
3 points in Newcastle, is it? Wow, what a day. Anyway, look, you know, I'm an honest host. Any other thoughts on the 11 before we wrap up? We'll be back for kickoff, of course, in about 30 minutes or so. But let's get some score predictions in. Any final thoughts, Frank?
Obviously, I'm always confident of an Arsenal win. Obviously, the team news hasn't really helped that, but I've got to stick to my guns. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
Talia?
I wanted to say 3-2, and I'm still going to say 3-2.
2?
Arsenal.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
I said 1-0. I said 1-0 and I'll stick with it to Arsenal.
2-1 Newcastle.
The 11 has though.
Turkish just predicted a loss.
Yeah, he
Straight in
did
and then
that for
looked
West
straight to
Ham.
me
he was
like,
right.
let's move on.
Yeah,
I love
because
that.
people are just going to be in the comments.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
negative, isn't it?
No, but AFTV Extra, you know, said they caught you getting it right.
Which one?
The West Ham defeat. You said
Okay.
once you saw the 11s, you're like, yeah, we're losing it.
Yeah,
Bournemouth have pulled one back. The fight back is on. Manchester City 4, Bournemouth 1. Sinistera with 20 minutes to go.
Comeback's on, guys.
We might have to stay live for the rest of this.
Genuinely,
Luke.
one man show, mate. Just do it. Just go ahead. This is quality.
Yeah, you know, I could run a watch along on my ones, but you know, come on, I want to give you all the platform as well.
I'm gonna.
Can't touch my knee. You might not make the watch along.
I'm going to go, I hate to be pessimistic, but on the sofa with you as well, I'm going to go 2-2. 2-2. I'd take a draw.
That's fair.
I would now without Odegaard, I'd take a draw.
No,
I
I've
hate
gone
to say
between
that. I hate
2-2
to
and
say that.
2-1 this week. I've
I'm gonna go
never
2-2.
thought we're
Well, there
going
we
to win
go.
this game.
We got
I've
this.
kind of
Fair.
gone between.
Well, we're going to have that discussion when we come back for the watch along. Is a point a bad point, and what does it mean for kind of the upcoming fixtures and the title race and all that? Newcastle vs Arsenal. The 11s are out. Raya starts in goal, as you can see to my right. I had to look at the screen. Although that's throwing me off. I'm looking to my left there. Right there, okay. It's right there. Raya, White in goal. I'm having a nightmare.
Seriously.
Someone else hosts.
So good.
Right.
He's done it again.
Oh, you've got this. Keep going.
Third time lucky.
Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Rice, Jorginho, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli and Nketiah. That is your 11. Enjoy it. Pope, Trippier, Lascelles, Cher, Burns, Bruno, Longstaff, Joe Linton, Almiron, Gordon, Wilson. See you in half an hour.